The Man in the Red Bandana by Honor Crowther Fagan and illustrated by John Crowther. When he was only 7 years old, Welles was given a bandana by his father. It was a special gift that made him feel very strong. Wells's dad always carried a blue bandana, and Wells's new bandana was just like it, only painted red. From the moment he received the bandana, he carried it with him everywhere. It had lots of uses. It was a cowboy mask, a pirate hat, and a flag to signal the end of the race. And as Welles grew up, he stopped using his red bandana as a toy and started to use it underneath his helmet. You see, Welles was an athlete whose favorite sport was ice hockey and lacrosse. He wore that bandana underneath his helmet to keep the sweat out of his eyes. Welles not only wore a helmet when he played sports, he also wore one he also wore one as a volunteer fighter. That's true. When Welles was 16, he followed his father's example and became a volunteer fireman. He trained with real firefighters and was taught that rescuing people who were trapped inside was their first priority. He also learned how to get to safely through the burning buildings and put out fires. It was this training and the red bandana that helped Welles become a hero. After college, Welles went to work on the 104th floor of the World Trade Center in New York City. He loved working up so high. He often called his father on rainy days to ask, "It's raining, where are you?" When his father replied that it was, Welles would say, "Well, it's sunny up here." And this is when tragedy happened. But on Tuesday morning, September 11th, it was not a rainy day. The sun was bright and there were no clouds in the blue sky. As Welles sat in his office, he heard an explosion nearby that rattled his desk and chair. When he looked out the window to see the World Trade Center, number 1, the first tower of the building, he could see that fire was spewing out of the floors right across from him. Welles wanted to help the tragic situation unfolding the next tower. Just minutes after the first explosion in Tower 1, he left his office. To get down to the lobby from the 78th floor, you had to first take an elevator to the 78th floor sky lobby. From there, you took a non-stop elevator to the ground. Many people would be waiting in the sky lobby for their elevator. Welles knew it would take so long to wait for an elevator from the 104th floor from the sky lobby than to one on the ground, so he headed down the stairs. In a few minutes, Welles had made it all the way down near the 78th floor. That's when another explosion occurred. Only this one was much louder and stronger than the last. Welles ran right for the door of the sky lobby, but could only tell by the smoke coming into the stairwell that were fires burning inside. He took his red bandana and tied it to his nose and mouth, so that way he did not breathe in the smoke. When Welles entered the sky lobby, it was hard to see through the smoke, but there were badly injured people who needed his help to get to safety. He found a fire extinguisher to put out the flames that continued to endanger the survivors. Welles immediately took charge and called out to anyone who might be able to hear him. "I found the stairs! If you can get up and walk, get up now. If you are able to help someone, help them. Follow me. I know the way." Many people were dazed, but one woman was in such a state and shock that she could not walk. Welles wanted to help as many survivors as possible. He picked up the shocked woman and, leading a group of 3 others, carried down the stairs with her. Welles saw the air start to clear as they made it down the stairwell, so he pulled his bandana from his face. When they made it to the 61st floor, the lights were on, and Welles thought it was safe to send the people on their own. Welles told the group to continue down the stairs and out of the building. Then he turned around and headed back up the stairs. He then collected another group of survivors and ushered them to the stairs again. He led them down to the clean air on the 61st floor and told them to continue on to the safety once again. Welles went back up the stairs. During his 3rd trip to the sky lobby, Welles found that there were people who were alive but were trapped underneath heavy pieces of metal. He knew that in order to save them, he would need a firefighter tool called the Jaws of Life. That's funny. He followed down the stairs to the lobby for his 3rd and final trip. He found the command center where firefighters and police officers were planning the rescue effort. Welles let them know that they would need the Jaws of Life up in the sky lobby. But poor Welles would not make it up back there. The damage to both buildings were too severe, and soon they collapsed. Alright. No one knew what had happened to Welles until his mother read a newspaper article months after. In the article, survivors recalled being saved by a man in a red bandana. She said to herself, "There you are, Welles. I finally found you." Welles was recognized through pictures by 2 women who he led to safety. They will never forget the bravery and strength that Welles showed on that tragic day. They will never forget the man who saved their lives. They will never forget the man in the red bandana. That's him. Good guy he was. Okay, it says here that Welles Remy Crowther 3 trips from the 78th floor to the sky lobby of the World Trade Center's South Tower had saved many lives. Because of his bravery and courage on 9/11, Welles was named as an honorary firefighter by the Fire Department of New York. The first time in the history, the department that an individual had been honored in this way. He had been recognized all over the world for his heroic acts through numerous media outlets, including ESPN, Outside the Lines. And that's him with his sister. I decided to read this story because it's our hero's birthday and I didn't know what to read. Thanks for watching.